Racehorses, talk to me.
Yes, so previously had a startup, co-founded with my friend Martin from school actually, and Martin had a background in horse racing industry, done his thesis in understanding heart rates and stuff. So we went to school together. He seen it at a 3D printing business, and I was kind of working as an engineer, and we came together to build what essentially was like a 3D printed shin guard for a horse. But the technology wasn't ready there, so we kind of pivoted into building a software application for understanding how fit and healthy racehorses were. So yeah, that was a fun journey. A couple of years of a startup. Went out to the Middle East, raised a bit of funding here in Belfast, built a business. We built a product and we sold it, but it just didn't really take off.
Yeah.
Didn't get anywhere, and a few reasons behind it. But the main thing was enjoyable journey.
Yeah. What'd you learn?
Well, I learned that you really need to talk to your customers, potential customers first. Now, the problem was, there was a problem there. We were solving it. We had a great product. But if you could imagine, we were going into a trainer's yard and we were telling them that horse you just bought isn't going to win that race. And they were like, oh, well, what would you know? I've been doing this 30 years. My dad's been doing this. My grandfather's been doing this. So trying to change their thinking by using data, they just didn't want it. Wasn't there yet.
And it's kind of like any area where people like really, really back their gut feeling, or no, you don't understand. I just know.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think we reject data so much?
The unknowns, maybe. People might find it that it's going to look at AI and the writer's strike, even for TV and film. People are afraid of it. They feel threatened by it. And sometimes data can expose what they're doing. I think it was another thing with trainers that they were worried that, I'm maybe not pushing this horse hard enough, or maybe pushing them too hard. So data, I think, was a big exposure and a threat. But the other side of it is it's massive potential.
Yeah.
And people just don't know how to get through that barrier.
Yeah. So shin guard for horses?
Shin guard for horses. Yeah, when horses run, now I'm not from the industry, so my co-founder Martin at the time, he was kind of educating me, but when a horse runs, they would strike their front leg with their back leg, and they would cut themselves and they'd cut their tendons, and then they'd be out of training for a while. So this shin guard, the tendon boot as it's called, was meant to prevent that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Such a fantastic, strange industry.
Man, I love a niche.
Yeah, I know.
And you've started off with a niche, so that's good fun. Welcome back to Meet the Members, the podcast series where we get to know and chat to some of the interesting and incredible people who call Ormo Bass their business home. So joined today, thank you, Brendan Lowry. Really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Works with Digital Catapult, and we're just going to dive in to what that means and what that looks like. So what's your role with them, and what is Digital Catapult?
So my role at Digital Catapult is Senior Innovation Partner. So essentially, I would run the innovation activities for Digital Catapult. And for those that don't know, Digital Catapult is, their tagline is the UK Authority on Advanced Digital Technology, part of the Catapult network. So there is 10 catapults. There's a high-value manufacturing catapult, a space catapult, energy systems, space even. So they're all set up by the UK government to advance innovation activities and different themes. So we're digital, headquartered in London, but we've got the satellite office here in Belfast, Ormo Bass, from about 2017, 18, I think. So originally there was four people for a long time, and then we got a couple more projects. So we've got the team up to, I think, 15 now, and we're still looking to grow.
Class.
Yeah. So it's a fun place. Work with various industries and companies of all sizes, and the main aim is to help them grow and adopt digital technologies.
Can you give an example of like some case studies or things you guys have been able to do with?
Yeah. So the previous program we ran was all around smart manufacturing, and we had 10 companies on it, 11 companies. And really they were, for example, one was Collins Aerospace in Kilkeel, and we had a smaller startup, all various companies and sizes, and they had challenges in their business, whether it was improving efficiencies or looking at quality control, and we were able to bring them on the program, understand through the innovation activities what their challenges were and how they could implement a digital technology. So it was like a 12-week accelerator program, and it was it was fascinating. So it was really good. And we had, so we have different technologists in different areas. So if you're interested in IoT or 5G or AI, we would bring those technologists in who can help you on that journey. So we've got real kind of specialist people in the team. It's amazing when you sit in an office and you look around, you've got IoT, 5G, AI, blockchain, quantum, all under one roof. I don't think you'd get it anywhere else.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I had some podcast guests in the other day, and we were walking past the Digital Catapult area of Ormo Bass, and you stopped and we were chatting with you. You talked about digitally twinning a factory.
Yes. So
Talk to me about that.
Another potential theme coming our way is digital twins. And digital twins is all about kind of the journey of using data to make decisions. So you start with capturing data using sensors, IoT, and then you interpret that data using AI models, and then how you visualize that at the end of it. So is it a 3D model, or is it a software application that you can make changes and understand what your data is doing? So companies are still very early on. They don't even capture data. They're still using pen and paper. But if you look at the bigger players like Rolls-Royce and BAE Systems, they're all using data to drive decisions, and they're using digital twins to do that. So it's a massive opportunity for businesses and not only manufacturing but construction. They currently do it as well. So it's on the horizon for Digital Catapult. It's something we're exploring at the minute.
Cool. Yeah. And what would the benefit of having a digitally twinned factory be?
Well, you're just getting better analytics and understanding of what your factory's doing. If a component broke down or a piece of machinery failed, you could know about it in real time. You can also predict when that's going to happen as well using predictive analytics. So yeah, digital twins, so many capabilities of it. I think we're still really early on it on our journey to know what we can do with it.
Yeah. What are some other examples of what you could do with a digital twin outside of a factory? Like, could you do, or what other things could you do?
Product design.
Okay.
So if you could have your real life product and your digital twin, and you can test the digital twin to see how it could affect your real life product. So route to market for products is another one. Understanding your factory layout, there's so many potentials. It's crazy, yeah.
And you come from that manufacturing background?
I do, yeah. So I'm a traditional manufacturing engineer, less technologist, but we're kind of blending the two roles at the minute. So yeah, I come from manufacturing. I've done it since I graduated back in 2012.
Wow.
So yeah, I always had a keen interest in manufacturing and innovation.
What pulled you into that? Like on a heart level, like what was it about manufacturing that did it for you?
It was a good question. I always wanted to be an engineer, like understand how things worked, and I was always interested in cars and how things were in an engine, essentially. So it came from my father as well, big into motor cars and bikes. And when you go to uni, sometimes you're 18, 17, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And mechanical engineering at the time was quite a broad degree, and you could go into and you could pick anything from it. So I went into studied mechanical, and then came out and went into a placement year with manufacturing. And really enjoyed it. It was just fixing problems and understanding why businesses did this, and was able to suggest improvements. And that's why I think with my innovation role at Digital Catapult and being an engineer, they do go well together, which is exciting.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What do you love about coming to Ormo Bass?
Oh, the people. You just turn around and talk to anyone. They've got a fantastic background. There's everyone in here is so special. And even from starting a business here, the support network is very good. You've got Royal Academy of Engineering, NI Screen, you've got Digital Catapult. There's so much under one roof that I don't think people they don't really know either. I think it's until you're here and you know about it, you're like, wow, this is amazing. Why didn't I come here sooner, and be part of it? So yeah, it's an amazing place.
And it's really funny. Brendan was chatting just whenever he came in, and I don't know how it came up, but he was like, and if you ever need anything 3D printed, like just come and say hello. And I'm like, funny you should say that. Like, this wee light up here is broken. He goes, oh, we can scan that part, no problem. Just 3D print it for you. And I'm like, mate, Ormo Bass is crazy. Like, what other workplace in the world could even have that conversation?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, there's so much happening here.
I really like the idea of, because there's so many different skill sets and backgrounds in one place, that the ability to help each other is just unbelievable.
I was talking to Claire and Chris, the guys who run this place, and I was like, I need a website design. They're like, well, there's 3 odd people here, go pick one. It's like amazing, so good.
Yeah,
I don't have to go out anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. How do you guys navigate remote working versus hybrid? Where are you guys at with that?
Hybrid. So we typically like to get in the office a couple of days a week. We do all our big team meetings in person. It's nice to get everyone under the one roof. But yeah, a couple of days at home, which is also nice because you can really get your head down and focus on your routine activities, replying to emails and doing your timesheets. But those kind of core working principles and being together in office just makes life so much easier. And even the programs we run, we try to do it, some of them in person as well, just because the nature of the projects that, we're asking difficult questions and we do demos. It's easier to use the space we have here and get people in.
Yeah, absolutely. Brendan, final question we ask everybody. If you could go back in time to an 18-year-old version of yourself and you had a couple of minutes just to say anything you'd want, what would you say?
Oh, good question. I think maybe don't worry so much. When I was going back to uni and going, am I going to get in? What am I going to do? It's always going to work out. There's so many other options and avenues you could take. Even come back to the engineering, background. You could have done a degree. You could also have done an apprenticeship, and we would have got to the same place at the same stage, making the same money, got the same job. But I just didn't see that at the time. So, just when you think back, there's so many other options and avenues. There's just not one path. So, remind myself of that quite often.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for listening or watching. I know a lot of you guys, you have the YouTube tab open while you're doing spreadsheets or Notion, whatever the heck it is that you're doing. And so, if you'd like to find out some more stories, some more background of our members, you can head to the Ormeau Bass website where you can listen to, I think we've got over 20 Meet the Members now, which is really exciting. Get to know the people that call this place home. And if you are an outsider, if you're not currently part of Ormeau Bass and you've heard about this place, come see us. Come see for yourself. The team would gladly show you a tour, get you a cup of coffee, and chat about how Ormeau Bass could become the home of your business too, whether you're hybrid or remote, as Brendan says. So, Brendan, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.